Alexandre Volkanovski unified the featherweight division at UFC 290 with one of the most dominant performances of what is currently the UFC's most dominant title reign. The interim champ Yair Rodriguez was as dangerous as ever, but Volk is simply on another level.
That's probably the most feared I've ever been in a fight, maybe. Like him and maybe Max. This was because I always say no one can beat me. No one can actually beat me. I don't believe anyone can beat me. But everyone has a puncher's chance. Everyone can catch you. And there's no one that's more dangerous and got a better chance of doing that than Yair Rodriguez.
Ever since joining the UFC, Volkanovski has looked unstoppable in the featherweight division. The Australian has run through a who's who of legends, and he's only tasted defeat once. A split decision loss to Islam Makhachev when Volk moved up to lightweight to take on the champ who many thought was unbeatable.
I'm just like, be myself. Just do your thing, you know what I mean? It's just go with emotions. I'm pretty experienced with it all now, and just enjoy it. You know, enjoy the international fight week, enjoy Vegas, and enjoy the cracking fights that are going to happen this weekend.
Yair Rodriguez had worked his way to the interim title with a string of victories. Few more impressive than his most recent over the knockout artist Josh Emmett for the belt. The Mexican striker was the biggest threat to Volk's reign, and they both knew it.
Bro, the guy is good. He's one of the greatest of all time. And I'm really happy to be facing this guy right here in front of me. It's a honor, to be honest, bro. I have nothing but good things to say about you. And we're gonna get a banger Saturday night, for sure.
By comparison, Volkanovski was as calm and relaxed as we've ever seen him. The mutual respect was clear to see. There was no animosity. There were just two champions about to throw down.
Mate's been very respectful, obviously back and forth. I gave him the respects. I've been saying he's dangerous, but all that stops tomorrow. I go out there, I'm going to squash him, I'm gonna do my thing. And still, baby, let's go.
After a feeling out process, Rodriguez nearly took the champ's head off with a high kick. Volk then caught a body kick and wisely used it for a takedown, where the ground and pound began.
It made me, try and work out a good game plan. You know, systematically break him down, take away a lot of his main tools, and I think we did a great job. He still was always going to be able to throw things because he's that creative. So that's why he was always going to be dangerous.
In round two, Volk backed Rodriguez against the cage for another round of ground and pound, before cracking Rodriguez in the third with an intercepting right hand. A barrage of combos and ground and pound sealed the victory and his place at the top of the division.
Yeah, very satisfied. It's always good to get the win. You know, that's all that really matters to me is getting that win and getting that paycheck for the family and rolling that legacy on.
Volkanovski's legacy is firmly intact, but that's not enough for a champ like Volkanovski. He wants to go another 5 rounds with Makhachev for the lightweight title.
We all know I want that lightweight belt. You know, we all know I want that rematch. You know, I want that Islam fight. I think not only for me to get that belt, for me to get that win back, but I think it is a massive fight for the UFC as well. I think it's a fight everyone wants to see. It was literally that type of fight. It was that close. It was a cracking fight. Everyone enjoyed it, and it was a very, very high level. It was 1 and 2 going at it, and we showed out. It really was that. He lived up to the hype, I lived up to the hype, and that fight lived up to the hype. We just need to see 5 to 10.
In the co-main, Alexandre Pantoja made it 3-0 against Brandon Moreno, but this time it was for flyweight gold. The Brazilian beat the champ by a razor-thin split decision to finally claim the title he'd waited so long to fight for. Moreno and his arch-rival Davison Figueiredo had inadvertently held up the division since late 2020, thanks to their epic 4-fight back-and-forth series for the belt. All that time, Pantoja, who had beaten Moreno in 2018 and once before that in The Ultimate Fighter, had waited patiently for this opportunity.
Very dangerous opponent as before, because he's mature, he has more experience, and he's very motivated. And I think that's the key, you know? I was saying this yesterday, actually, like with Figueiredo, for example, he was like dumb to fight with me, like, oh, I'm sick to fight with Moreno again. But Pantoja is like excited, like I wanna cut his hair and whatever. He's scared So that makes makes him dangerous. So man, I'm ready for the challenge.
All Mexicans go to my Instagram and say he's a prime Moreno. That's the guy I want to meet in the cage, you know, in the octagon. But the result is gonna make the same. I'm gonna win that, take the belt, and go to Brazil some vacations.
Moreno can add the bout to his collection of title fight classics, but this was one that didn't go his way. They both had their moments, and both were bloodied, but an early knockdown and a late takedown sealed Pantoja the win. Also on the card, ruthless Robbie Lawler ended his MMA career in the most ruthless way possible. The former welterweight champ knocked out Nico Price with 38 seconds of beautiful violence. Lawler claimed the UFC welterweight title and made 2 defenses. He was a 2-time Fighter of the Year recipient, a 2-time Fight of the Year recipient, and his rematch with Rory McDonald from UFC 189 was just added to the Hall of Fame. He's an old-timer. Pantoja Moreno 3 won Fight of the Night, maybe Fight of the Year, so do not be surprised if Pantoja Moreno 4 gets announced very soon. Dricus du Plessis won $50K for upsetting the former middleweight champ Robert Whittaker in the second round. And Denise Gomes punched her way to an extra $50K in just 20 seconds. In other UFC news, the heavyweight champion Jon Jones has officially signed on for the legacy fight of his career. Bones will headline against the heavyweight goat Stipe Miocic at UFC 295 this November in what could be the last fight of both of their careers. After ruling the light heavyweight division for a decade, Jones vacated the title with intentions of moving up in weight. However, it took 3 years for him to step back into the cage. In his first fight back, Jones fought the one-time title challenger Cyril Gane for the vacant belt and walked through him in the first round. At the age of 35, though, Jones mentioned that there is only one person left in the promotion that he still wants to face. Miocic is that man, because the 2-time champ is a legend. The 41-year-old has the most title wins, defenses, and consecutive defenses, as well as the most post-fight bonuses in heavyweight history. Jones versus Miocic for the UFC heavyweight title is scheduled to headline UFC 295 at Madison Square Garden this November 11. If it were the only fight on the card, it would still be worth the price of the pay-per-view.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.